Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is Thursday night. It is time for Revolutionary Change. I'm Jen Perelman.
I'm Peter Hager, and how are you this evening?
I am good. Making slow and steady improvements. I've got some really fun graphics tonight, my friend.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Oh, no, you don't even understand, but you'll see.
Yeah. Lots of things happening, right, Jen?
Oh, there's a lot of things going on.
Well,
A lot of things going on.
do we
Local
want to?
things, national things, global things.
Well, who's our guest tonight? I think we should surprise. I know we're going to surprise everybody, but there's.
We can surprise people. I mean, we're doing a little bit of a mini crossover, not really a full crossover, a little mini crossover with
Oh,
with
look
my
who's behind you. Look who's behind you.
She's very happy with me because today was a cook day. So tonight her dinner was actually warm. Like tonight was the first night of a cook is always her favorite. And she got lamb today. She's very pleased.
Well,
yeah, I cook for the dog. I don't cook for myself. I cook for this dog.
You don't cook for yourself too? That's silly.
I do bare minimum for myself. I do, frozen things that are less offensive than others. I do things that are easy to throw together. I eat good bread,
yeah.
But I don't cook for myself. I cook for this dog. It's ridiculous.
Well, she deserves it.
So this week's entree is lamb, lentil, and carrot. And she is on also, I keep her on like a low phosphorus diet because of her kidneys. So this dog is a piece of work, like in the realm of and right now at her age, it's like having a toddler. It's really absurd.
Yeah, but she deserves it. So again, that's the thing about having a dog.
Yes. She's so happy. She just ran across my front lawn. This dog is going to be 16 this month. And she is running in around this house. It's cute, but I know she also has herniated discs. Sometimes it's like really not a good plan, but it's like, I'm not going to tell her no,
You got to work on her core. Got to work on the core strength. There are ways to do that with dogs,
Oh, she's just, look, there she is. She just needs to just be herself. She just needs to be free. She's very happy here.
Well, that's the thing about living out in the countryside.
She's a farm dog now.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, we're entering a phase where a lot of this country is not going to know what to do with themselves because they're not going to know how to survive in the wild. I think that's going to be a very big problem. And
we're getting our stuff ready to start dropping seeds and planting food and getting it done. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's not, people say things like, oh, it's so easy, just grow food. It is, and it isn't. Like some things are easier than others, but to really grow food at a scale that you can use for sustenance, not just as like a nice little tower garden in your, in your living room. It's a lot of work. And most people don't have the ability to do that. And that's what they want. That's what they're counting on. They're counting on people to not be able to be self-sufficient. That's the whole point. So
I think it's imperative that we use our platform to try to help people understand some of the things that they can be doing. Because everyone, and they're, again, it's almost like disaster commentary for a lot of podcasts. They always identify what the problem is, but the solutions are not, they should be close behind, but they often aren't. And I think for our responsibility, there's a big difference between, as Leigh Argent says, it's, prepping is now a fact, not just a hobby. Yes, but what you have to remember about so much of the prepping that was put out there by a number of people is that it's doomsday prepping in the worst way. It's like burying yourself in, a bomb shelter and living off of preserves and stuff. That's not the answer, and that's nowhere near the solution. And so learning
if you have any real tenable skills, let me know. Are you a builder, carpenter, farmer, landscape?
Well, sustainable community,
Yeah.
Smallholder here in Ireland. There you go.
Oh, yeah. It's hard. For sure. It's hard. It's hard work. And it is unpredictable, and it isn't easy to be consistent, which is, you know, if you put everything into it, it could still go badly. That's you know, but you do the best you can, and you do enough variety, sort of like diversify. And so, you know, some things will be more successful than others. But yeah, I mean, it's a, you know, there's definitely a learning curve. I mean, I'm just learning a lot of stuff. Like, this is not a very natural thing for me.
No, but it is a way for people to learn how to organize and get prepared for what is inevitably coming, because it's getting worse and worse every day. We're watching the collapse of the empire. And that, of course, leads us to the big story of the day. It's not surprising, because if there's a reason, you know, Jen and I were talking about this, and we'll obviously get to Trump, you know, right afterwards. But the fact of the matter is that you have a couple of reasons why getting Trump out of office makes more sense now than ever. There's a big difference between the Donald Trump of 2018 and the Donald Trump of 2026. He's a demented person now. And you will see it in, well, you've been seeing it in the way that he talks, the way he slurs his words.
He's completely delusional. He's delusional and confabulating stories that are just off the wall.
Well, they're all connected, you know, they're really connected, really great stories. I like to tell stories. Did I tell you that? I like to tell stories, great stories.
That's what he does. He's like, well, thinks he's grandpa now, and he's going to tell a bedtime story. Little does he know, he's still, you know, running the country, sort of. It is imperative that we recognize why it's so bad, that if he is going to stick around, he's going to do a lot more worse things than just kicking Pam Bondi out as Attorney General. That's just a fault person. I don't think Pam Bondi ever had an independent thought in her head, except for this, Jim.
Wait a second. Oh, you have something? Okay, go ahead.
I do.
The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now.
Well, say that again.
That was actually good. The fact that she called out Raskin on stock trading, like,
well, that's the thing. I mean, in the end, they're all like rats on a sinking ship. They're all gonna look for their life raft wherever they can get it, and that's the thing that's so.
Well, we're having an extinction level event though right now. We are witnessing the extinction of the lying Anna Bondi and the Cuntosaurus Rex. So unfortunately, we probably won't be seeing these graphics. The graphics are now going to kind of go into the extinction, but you know, it was fun while it lasted. Cuntosaurus and Anna Bondi, it was fun.
Oh, please. I mean, Bondi is, again, you put these people in positions of power that they intentionally put them there. They intentionally put people who are in over their head in positions that they have no business being in, because when they're in over their head, you just control them a lot easier.
Do you remember not that long ago when I said to you that it will be it will be Pam Bondi, Kristi, Noem, and I also think Carolyn Levitt is another one, that the women are all going to get hung out to dry first. That's what I said.
Patriarchy.
But these are the thing is, and I don't remotely feel bad about it, because these are white women that uphold that patriarchy and are so much more loyal to that patriarchy than they are to other women or any other vulnerable groups. So, you know, fuck them. But yes, I knew that the women were going to get thrown under the bus first. Now, I also would not be surprised if there wasn't an agreement that she agreed to in taking this for the team. I don't know. I don't know what she might have been offered as a consolation prize. Same with the Cuntosaur. But can you finish this so I don't have to?
Well, hold on a minute. You got a much bigger problem here that's actually brewing under the table that people are. I think it's the part that is getting sidestepped here, and the reason I think this is actually a pretty big deal, unlike the bullshit with Noem that's going on right now. Kristi, Pam Bondi is scheduled she is subpoenaed to speak in front of the House Select Committee regarding the Epstein files in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
She now no longer has federal protection behind her. So she is basically, you want to talk about a real fall person sitting duck? I mean, she really is. Like she could very easily be in a position where she's going to have to make a decision. Is she really going to fall on the sword and go to federal prison? Or is she going to look to make some type of a deal to perhaps release certain information that hasn't been made public yet? Things that maybe she was told in private conversation that hasn't been discussed yet.
Well, so you're suggesting that they end up, I don't see who she'd be making a deal like that with is the problem. I don't see who she would be making a deal like that with yet. That's something that she would be making a deal with an incoming administration. This administration wouldn't be making a deal with her. However, they might have made her some sort of offer and consolation for taking the fall. We don't know. Maybe they offered her some sort of protection. I mean, I don't know, but you've got to let this finish. I can't look at this anymore.
Fine.
The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan. Committee.
Let it end. So again, let us say goodbye to the lying Anna Bondi and the Cuntosaurus Rex. Bye-bye.
Now the question is going to become, what's going to happen to her when she does go to court? I mean, she is in a lot of trouble.
I don't think she's going to court. I don't think that's happening. What
do you think is going to happen?
I don't know that, but I don't think that is going to happen. I don't think she's going to court any more than I think Luigi is going to end up getting convicted. There are just certain things, same with whoever the patsy is, I forget, but what doesn't matter, from Charlie Kirk. There are certain cases that somehow never quite make it to trial. And it's because there is no real there is no real case there. Or it's people being protected to the point where it's just never going to see the light of day. So yeah, it's not going anywhere. I mean, I don't know.
The other story that's going around right now that we really should not even entertain is the fact that Kristi Noem's husband is apparently a cross-dresser, and he's
I could not care less about
really
that.
Interesting kinks. It's like the fact that this is the stuff that people want to focus on, like that matters. It doesn't. That's the thing that I'm proud that our channel doesn't get involved in ever. Like the stupid shit, the stuff that has absolutely no bearing on anything. What people choose to do in their private lives is their business. However, in the case of Noem, when it came to shooting her dog, I mean, obviously that in itself is a crime against humanity as far as I'm concerned.
Psychopathic.
It is psychopathic.
That's not cross-dressing. Cross-dressing,
But on top of everything else, she put it in her book. She put that shit in her book. Like, that's a psychopathic person.
Correct.
You would put that in a book, and she justified it.
Well, and it's interesting. So and yet that is so much less brought up in a problem than the cross-dressing husband. Now, my only thing about the cross-dressing husband, and I caught a picture of it. I don't even know what it came up on. But what's with the totally crooked nipples?
Who knows?
All right. Well, I would just think if you were going to, I don't know. It was a little bit, the crooked nipples was a little bit unnerving to me.
People have a lot of bizarre ideas in terms of what they think they should do and they shouldn't do. But as we have seen, these stories are going to come out a lot more fast and furious now as we go forward. And I'll tell you why. The reason this is going to get worse, it's going to get so much worse. When things really start to get bad, you're going to see an exceptional amount of detestable behavior that is going to spring up from a family that clearly at this point is probably using the patriarch to enrich themselves. That includes all of Trump's kids, certainly his son-in-law,
Okay, all of you stop talking about nipples, okay? When I'm talking about the picture of her husband, it was not normal. Everybody is uneven. Yes, I know that. I have boobs. I'm aware. You guys are nuts.
See, I got boobs, fucker. Can you milk me?
My point is if you look at the picture of her husband, it is not, again, I was joking because clearly they're not real breasts. So if you're not going to have real breasts, if they're fake breasts, why wouldn't you make them even? That was the point, guys.
Why you gotta love our Irish people on the show.
Exactly. But
sure.
you guys are crazy.
Yeah, and no, but you did say you said Noem, you said Bondi, and you said Cash Patel. So you're two out of three. Are you gonna get? Is Cash gonna get the boot at some point? And
I don't know. I don't. But you did say Cash Patel, so I mean, it's what's a day without a little Cash Patel?
You just know that guy never made a varsity team once in his life. For anybody who understands the Sopranos reference, he never had the makings of a varsity athlete. So he has to live vicariously through other varsity athletes. Moobs, as they call them.
Oh, you guys are enough with you. And Travers, stop.
The reason why we believe wholeheartedly that
Medi, I would never say that about a woman is never. Where everybody's uneven, okay? No, talking about the picture of her cross-dressing husband standing in front of a mirror and his boobs are totally crooked, and it's just weird.
I'd fuck me. So you could get a good laugh out of it. The reason why Trump has to be dealt with is because, again, make all the jokes you want, but 8 years ago, he was making decisions, half-cocked in many instances, but he was making decisions of which he was relatively of sound mind and body. Now he clearly isn't. And when he makes these speeches, I mean, what can you say? It's one thing if he's going off half-cocked at a press conference and he doesn't know anything, and it isn't about anything of relative, vital importance. For example, if he's boasting about what he's doing to the grand ballroom at the White House, okay, whatever, it's ridiculous and it's the greatest ballroom you've ever seen. Who cares? But when you're talking about life and death, when you're talking about World War III and you're joking about this shit like it's not that big of a deal, I'm sorry, but this is where the 25th Amendment was created for situations like this, where the more you allow this to go on, the more likely we get to a situation where maybe a nuclear bomb somehow manages to slip through the cracks. That's the type of shit where you want to take him out of office. You take him out for the reasons that actually matter. But as we know, the primary motivation, especially in the ultra neoliberal class, is they just don't like him. They would rather have somebody else in their selling empire. It isn't about saving the world. We know that much.
No, it's all the same. They're all friends. 6 of one, half a dozen the other. The reason they don't like him is because he exposes all of them. That's why they don't like him. It isn't because they disagree with him or have different morals than him or different economic principles than him. It's that he exposes them, and they don't like that because everybody wants to hold him accountable for all of these, things that he does that are just so disgusting. But so many of them do those same things. So that's the problem. And having somebody like Trump that makes it so obvious and makes everybody want to go after them with pitchforks is bringing attention to all of them. And that is why they don't like him. And I'm here for it. I've said it. I'm down with him the whole time. Bring it.
So
first of all, he was never that bright. Let me just say this. He was never that bright to begin with.
No, I'm really, really bright. You don't know what you're talking about.
No, he was never that bright at all. And he is now also clearly demented and confabulating entire stories that are just completely not true. And not in a deceitful lying thing in a I think he actually believes it thing.
Which is why people should just be, oh, Mr. President, you're doing a wonderful job. You've won the war. It's all over.
Well, that's what I think they tell him. That's exactly why I think that he says that. I think that people like Hegseth and Rubio and Jared Kushner and Witkoff and whoever these people are telling him, we're doing well. We're winning. We've eliminated their entire Navy. Well, yeah, maybe because they never really had much of a Navy. They didn't really have a Navy. That's not the problem. Right. So I think they're telling him certain things that are kind of true-ish and then making up what the context is so that he has I don't think he has any idea. Did
you hear what you just did? True-ish. I'm Jew-ish. Just right. like Trump is very Jew-ish.
Right. So they tell him little, whatever they want him. I think he is in an information silo. And he only knows what they let him know. He only puts out information. He's diarrhea of the mouth, but he doesn't actually read anything and intake any information. So I don't think he knows anything other than what those people are telling him. And I think he is demented and confabulating on top of that. So yeah, and the whole world is laughing at him. The whole world is laughing at him. And you know what is so pathetic? Is he might not know, and maybe he is demented and he doesn't know, and he'll die not knowing. Who the hell knows? But this is the legacy that is being left for his children and grandchildren. This is what they're going to have to now live with. Like, they're going to know that their, patriarch was this, and the whole world is mocking him.
This is why our system is going to take a lot longer to break completely. Because there's still people like the king in Vegas who wants you to know that he made a lot of money investing in the Chevron stock, which is going to the moon. I knew about this way before, and I could have easily put thousands of dollars into it. But at the end of the day, can you live with yourself knowing that you're now a war profiteer? Because that's what you are. This is blood money, Elvis. I hope you realize that. Like, when you invest in this is, look. This is people dying. This is American soldiers dying. They came out today and they said that 13 American soldiers are the ones who died in this war. There was an attack last night where they had to admit that 37 Americans died in one bombing last night. So congratulations, you made money. And a whole bunch of Americans had to die for you to make a few bucks. So this is what the commander-in-chief actually had to say.
They should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. Number one, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much.
We've really
this
got
whole
too much.
thing is absurd. There is not a single thing that he said that wasn't laughable if it weren't so tragic. And the whole world is like, people, who's really making a lot of money is Putin. Putin's making a fortune off of this right now. So for all those Democrats who are so anti-Putin, he's laughing all the way to the bank. And Iran, ironically, a lot of the big money there is still making money because he did lift the sanctions, because of course he did.
For sure.
And number two, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before, should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy.
I mean,
done.
The hard part is done.
He's
As
done
I
nothing.
said, 37 American soldiers were killed last night in a bombing by Iran. Yeah, they're devastated. They're completely destroyed. You let the president talk like
Where
this?
was this, in Lebanon?
I believe so. I have to double check where it took place, but I believe it was.
So then that would be Israel did it, unless you're telling me that it happened.
Hey, you know what? That's certainly possible.
So we need to know before we say where 37 people were killed.
Yeah. Well, even if that were the case, regardless of the specific spot, I do agree with you that the likelihood, I mean, this is why we bring up the USS Liberty as often as we do and have had guests on. You think that the USS Liberty, like a lot of things in the American-Israel unholy alliance for the past 3 generations, do you really think that that's the only incident in which Israel murdered our service members and blamed it on somebody else?
Well, no, I think that that's just their MO. This is what they do. But I do think that a lot of misinformation can get out. So I think if we're going to say, okay, that we need to have exact facts. I did not know that if that just happened. Then you need to know, we need to know where, because I'm not.
This is also why I'll see what I can grab, but this is again part of the reason. Tam McIntosh, who is saying that it's Lebanon.
That's what makes the most sense to me. Right. So what difference does that make to us?
I mean, what difference does it make?
Like, we don't care.
Yeah,
we don't care.
Really. We'll finish.
And here's something else I'd have to say, though, quite honestly, and I do believe this, and I do not say this as to the individual people and service people that get killed. This is not what I'm not referring to them specifically, but we ought not be in these places to begin with, right? So if we weren't there, why are we there? Why are there so many U.S. service people? Why are we there? Why are we in Lebanon? Why are we there? What is our mission in Lebanon? Why are we in Lebanon? Why?
Somebody did a video today suggesting that the reason that this is all happening is because Israel doesn't have enough room for its people, so it has to expand its borders. I've heard some dumb shit in my life, but that's up there. We'll finish this one up.
Please.
And in any event, when this conflict is over, the strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally.
Wait a minute. I thought you just said that the strait is open. So which one is it?
Well, the strait is open, just not for us.
Not for us.
The strait is open unless you're dealing in dollars. If you're dealing in dollars, it's closed for you. Yeah. So.
We're just totally going to bribe them. We'll bribe the shit out of them and they'll open their doors.
And here's what's so interesting. This is the complete lunacy of all of this. The strait was open until you attacked them. So if you had just left them alone, it was just open, right? It would be one thing if Iran closed the strait and that was the first act of aggression by shutting down the oil supply. Then you could say, all right, that was going on offense, that's shutting down our oil supply. Then we need to, okay. That's not what happened. The strait was open.
I'll tell you, you know what I think would happen? I think if you had a chance to sit down with the president and present him with the stickiest of the icky and just told him to hold it in for a few seconds, just let it out gently, he might actually see straight for the first time in a long time, make a few decisions that are a little bit more sound of mind.
If I talk to him?
Yeah, if you just got him to, take a few puffs and passed it to his homeboy on the left.
He's like pretty anti-weed, I think.
He is pretty much anti a lot of that stuff.
I mean, he's not in terms of like criminalization. He's never been that. That's not what I mean. But no, I think as far as him doing it, yeah.
Of all people, I think it would help him. Yeah.
They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up.
It's just going to happen. The
strait's
just going to open. It is open, just not for us.
Not for us.
And not for our anybody who's trading on US dollars. So what's going to happen is the rest of the world is going to realize that being affiliated with us is like a death sentence. And then they're not going to be affiliated with us. Also, NATO is going to cease to exist, which that's good. I mean, like that is neither here nor there, but we're not going to have anything. The rest of the world they're going to just let us go. And
that's all they're going to need to do.
And Donnie doesn't seem to understand this, which is, I don't know that he ever understood this.
Unfortunately, I think that this is a reflection of how a lot of Americans think. They're just kind of
the problem is we're not self-sufficient, people.
We're not.
We're just not.
Which is why we're trying to teach people that they need to be. That's the imperative component of our channel is trying to expound upon
No,
that.
Elvis, Peter does not love the US dollar. You are very wrong. Did you see that?
I don't know. I mean, I love my country. I hate the people who run it. I don't love
No,
the
he
US
means you
dollar.
like the dollar, Peter,
Oh,
that
I
you're
mean,
about the dollar. If
I li-
Peter's not about the dollar,
I like
Peter's been
money.
working for free with me for like 7 years.
I like money. I'm sure some people will get that reference. But Trump's not done. Not even close.
Say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
Stop that right now, please. Okay.
Going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
The level of caucasity in what he's saying is so enraging to me. Like, he's so fucking stupid. First of all, Donnie, in the Stone Age, your people were playing with sticks and their people were doing algebra. In the Stone, like, so what does that even mean in the Stone Age? Because if you want to go back to the Stone Age, then they'll really whoop your ass. The Stone Age. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
On the one hand, he's talking about
We're totally opening up the strait, and we're going to have peace. We're going to negotiate peace, but first we're going to bomb them back to the Stone Age, and then they're going to come to the table.
He doesn't even know what that means. He's thinking of like cavemen and stuff because he's a moron.
yes.
That's what.
He's
but that's
he's
not
certainly not the sharpest knife in the drawer. But you see, he was always very instinctual. He always had a very good read on a room. He doesn't have that anymore. It's basically gone now. And so what you're left with is this just completely decrepit, unkempt, grating to listen to, even more grating to look at.
So unbelievably white supremacist. And I am thankful that, and I've said this before, that in most places around the world that I have been educated about or have seen things about the people, they do understand the difference between U.S. empire and U.S. people. They do. They do. And in fact, when this is done, I have a little clip that I wanted to share in that regard. And we need to be thankful for that the majority of the world does know that this does not represent the majority of Americans. They do.
In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead.
And then he goes into, which I know we got to be done with him because I can't, but then he goes into that now the new people, the new leadership, the next generation is more moderate. No, Donnie, it's not more moderate. You now have in power the person who you killed his father and his daughter. And he was already more radical to begin with.
But he's totally going to get over it. He'll totally get over it.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get over it. I'm not getting over it. So I don't see how he'll get over it.
No, this is, like you said, he was going to not only facilitate the revolution, but he's going to accelerate it into its inevitable conclusion.
Well, really, Z3S, some Jews are white, pasty, pretty white. Like I'm not, I'm pretty white, but not all Jews. And also, I would like to know what you consider to be white, because our African continent Jews or Iranian Jews that are Persian Jews are does any of that kind? I don't know what you consider white. So Ashkenazi Jews like me from Eastern Europe and also like maybe parts of Russia. Yeah, we're white, very white, like, yeah. So, yeah, but there are Jews that are not, because there's Jews that are from places like Iran, and there's Jews in places like Morocco, and those Jews are not as white. Yeah. I feel like I'm trying to teach like Miss Rachel. Some Jews are white, some Jews.
Na 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 poo poo.
So yeah, but
You said that there was a clip that you.
Yeah, I really like this. So guys, when I was just talking about the nuance, and this came up on my Instagram, and I want to start where I don't often like pull things over from Instagram and stuff like that, but I want to start doing that to really add this depth and humanity to people that are in other places that you might not see. And this is what this is.
Hey American people, here is Tehran where Iranians keep chanting death to America every single day and night. But what does it mean? Let me translate it for you. First of all, I want you to know that when we say death to America, we do differentiate between the American government and the American people. Death to America means death to the interfering policies of the United States and death to your corrupt, satanic, pedophile leadership and politicians.
I mean, she's not the first and will not be the last person. The Ayatollah specifically said as much many times before.
Yeah.
Now, we're living in a country where we know for a fact today, even the most hardened, sycophantic tribalist has to have a clue that we are at a bare minimum ruled by an oligarchic class, that this is not a democratic republic by any stretch. We have the illusion of a democratic republic, but we know—
Fading by the minute, Peter.
Correct.
Fading by the minute.
But when you had the senator from Vermont who said that the United States was an oligarchy in 2015, how much worse have things gotten since 2015? A lot. Like, a lot worse. And you said it. We had a chance.
Elvis in Vegas, nobody's going to read your posts or learn anything from you. They're just not. Okay. No one's going to take you seriously. Your name is Elvis in Vegas and you can't even have a real picture. Who the hell are you? Nobody cares. Go away. Next.
We're having some fun here. I just want to say, if anybody wants to know the truth about Elvis and what I brought to this country, don't forget that I picked up little Priscilla Presley when she was only 14 years old. So, just
all
keep
right,
that
let
in
this
mind.
play. Can you let this play?
Sure.
Not to the American people. This is the biggest lie you've ever been told since your childhood, that the Ayatollahs or Iranians want to kill all of you Americans because they say death to America. We Iranians are the most demonized people in history, and if you don't believe me, just ask about the kindness and hospitality of Iranians from those who have traveled to Iran in person. So yes, we do chant death to America until your military forces get back to your other side of the world, and until your government be satisfied with your own natural resources. You already have enough oil in your country. We just want you to get out of our region and let us live the life we like. Let us wear whatever we like. We are already free and we really don't need your help to liberate us. We are the heirs of the Persian Empire, which means we Iranians have the most ancient civilization in the world, and we do know how to live and survive, and we definitely don't need a 250-year-old country to lecture and educate us about civilization and freedom.
Could we also point out, it's not just the fact that Iran has been so well prepared for this. Again, this isn't even a situation where our country was prepared. We just kind of did this on a whim, thinking, oh yeah, this will be easy. We'll be in and out, like a 10-second man or whatever they call them. Point being is, this is a nation, Persia, that's been around for thousands upon thousands of years, for at least 8,000 years. And
we're going to bomb them back to the Stone Age.
Bomb them back to the Stone Age, long before we were even a blip in the eye of humanity. Our country's coming up on our 250th anniversary.
Think about that. Like, the set on these people. the total caucasity and supremacy of these people, this 250-year-old bulldog of just weapons, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Let her finish. Yeah.
So, do you want to know how stability and peace would appear in the world? I tell you, just get the hell out of the Middle East. Thank you.
It really is that simple.
It's that simple. It's that simple. They didn't have issues like they have now until the Westerners came in there, drew arbitrary lines, and started moving people around like pawns on a game board. So yeah, it is that simple. But I think it's very important. You know, people want to villainize Iran and Iranians. They have not started a war in like modern times.
No.
And yet all we do is vilify them and make them out like they're somehow terrorists, and yet they've never done anything terroristic to us. It's completely made up.
Well,
And so when they say death to America, they mean death to our empire in their continent.
Yeah. I mean,
They don't want us in their continent.
Honestly, if they said death to the American billionaire class, they probably would find quite a few sympathizers.
And that they know the difference is my point. They absolutely know the difference. And they know that most of us are not down with what empire is doing. So I take some amount of comfort in knowing that at least out there in the world, there are people like the Iranians that not only are better educated than us, have more grace than us, but those are the people that will still be around. And hopefully when empire is no longer running the show, when cooler minds and more civilized people prevail, that's the direction we'll go in. Because we failed. Like we're not capable of this.
As I said, if we lived in a country where we had a government that cared about its people but wanted to reign holy hell empire around the world, you would have a lot more Americans agreeing just because they're creatures of comfort. We're a very spoiled nation in so many respects. But because we have such a large swath of the population that lives hand to mouth or doesn't have anything to feed themselves with, yeah, you think it's hard for a person who wants to love their country but can't because their country hates their guts? You think it's a stretch that they're cheering on Iran? It's not hard to see why. This isn't a country that cares about its people, not even a little bit. I love the uneducated. I love and you think that that's bad? How about the fact that you have a class of people that represents the hierarchy of the Democratic Party that absolutely despises working people, despises them, thinks that they're the stupidest effing people alive. And not only are they stupid, but they think that they should take their medicine and vote for them. And if they don't, well, go vote for the Republicans instead is what they say. So
I wanted to talk about aesthetic hatred.
No, go ahead.
Because Gen Xers still have visuals at 79 the Iran, absolutely, of the hostage crisis. And that was just one in the long line of false flags and like villainization that we've done over the years since then regarding Iranians, and wanting to promote warfare with them for years. So yeah, you're right. That's how they've gone about creating this like mindset that they are somehow the bad guys. And now, of course, we know what the hostage crisis was really about, and that we, per usual, were the ones to blame for that situation.
We're to blame for a lot of things that are going on.
Correct.
And that is the tragedy of the world we're living in. But we're trying our best to wake up the masses as best we can. Let me tell you, I've seen a couple of clips that we've put out the past couple of days. I mean, you want to talk about just burying our stuff, just burying it underground so that people can't see it. I saw a clip the other day where it had like what was it, like 1,000 views, and it had like 450 likes on it. It's like when that's happening, you know what they're doing. Like, it's obvious what they're doing. So that's the risk you take. And that's the risk that I've taken. It's the risk Jen's taken. But we do this because, again, if we end up making money as a result of it, that's a bonus. It's not the intention. The intention is to try to form some type of a revolution because it is what this country needs, whether they admit it or not. But because, again, creatures of comfort. And again, I don't want to have to keep referencing Mr. Elvis, but again, the whole conversation started with him bragging about how he's made so much money because he invested in the Chevron stock before it went to the moon. And I'm thinking, yeah, I could have easily done the same thing. I knew exactly what was coming, but I wouldn't do it because I have to live with myself knowing that I have blood on my hands if I do that. I'm contributing to the genocidal war effort, and not just in Iran, but in Palestine. And it is Palestine. Israel doesn't exist in my mind. And I don't really care what anybody thinks anymore.
Space Cowboy, I appreciate what you're saying, but it would be better if you would stop calling all of us dumb as fuck. I'm just saying, your message would probably be more appealing. Also, another person who doesn't use their actual self. So, yeah, if people want to take it seriously, but they're not serious. Yeah.
Hey, it could be an improvement. You never know. This again, and I just got back from Orlando, and I mean, it's a prime example of just being in a city that doesn't know when to say when, that just keeps building, overly expensive, doesn't really offer anything, and it's just, again, it's like people know that this system is broken, but they don't know how to stop participating in it. They don't know how to pull back.
We've crossed over into where people can't stop participating in it because we no longer have the capability of any sort of self-sustenance. We are now completely dependent cogs on a supply chain and on an infrastructure, and that's where we are. That's the problem. So most people can't get out of it. Most people have no means of leaving their situation. That's exactly what empire wants. It's a bunch of cogs stuck in a machine. That's exactly the point.
So when, I don't understand. The American people put up with too much. They don't fight hard enough. They're weak. They don't have no cowbell or spine. Trying to find it, stuck between their legs, reinserted on top of their head. Be better off. We have internet glitches on our channel all the time. Everybody sees it. They realize that, no matter what we do, we kind of get stuck in the mud. And
who is feeding our labor? Anywho. I just want to understand why we're acting the same way MAGA does. You attack people and ignore arguments. Well, there is no argument. You're just yelling at us that we're stupid for ignoring you. I was just saying maybe that's not the best approach.
The fact is, a lot of people are upset, they're afraid, and they don't know what to do. The solutions are actually pretty realistic and simple if you really want to fight for them. I've said before, one of the easiest things we could do in this country, if you really want to fix it, is you need tuition-free trade schools. If we're to compete on the global scale again, and that's coming because we'll have no choice once the US dollars is officially no longer the world's hegemony. And that's going to happen again sooner rather than later. Just be thankful for the British Empire that required so many countries, in particular the ones that are going to take the reins, that have required them to learn English. Because imagine having to deal with other countries where you would have to learn their language, and the incompetency of the education system and the desire to embrace ignorance in this country comes to the forefront. Oh, I ain't learning. You've got people in this country who live in Southern California, South Texas, and South Florida who don't want to learn Spanish. It's not that hard if you're living amongst it all the time. Now, granted, depending on what part of a Spanish-speaking country they come from, it's a lot more difficult. But for example, if you live in Arizona and California, which is Mexican dominated population. If you can't learn Mexican Spanish, it's because you choose not to. It's because I don't want to have to learn how to speak. What about just being a citizen of the world and understanding that it is to your advantage to learn, not to unlearn, as Yoda would say? You have to learn. How many languages do you think that the average Chinese person speaks, especially one that has to go international? How about the average Indian citizen? How about the average Russian? They know
How
to
about
speak
the average Palestinian?
Palestinian. Oh yeah, big time.
So,
Okay, so this is an example of cultural ignorance. It's ignorant. There's nothing wrong. Again, there's a difference between I'm only going to speak Spanish because that's my native tongue, or you're going to learn English, but you're going to learn your native language too. Again, embrace the change, because if you don't, when the change is forced upon you, you're not going to know what the hell to do. So who's our special guest tonight, Jen? We didn't tell everybody.
no, I didn't, because it's nice to surprise people. But I had just been thinking it's been a while since I've had like my sister on the other side of the country on, my drinking to my pot sister over there in California. So guys, Leila, Charles Lee from Punch Up is here to hang out and chat with us tonight. We have a lot of good stuff to talk about. And we got our Trump stuff over with because I told Peter that Leila should not have to suffer through that again. So we did that without her. So hello.
Hi, I was just pouring my glass of wine to suffer through the Trump stuff, but you got me out.
I'm gonna try to be like Pat for you for a second. So tonight's selection is, according to Rachel, Moon Sky Kush.
Ooh,
so I know.
I like
Yeah,
I like it.
I
I have my Pinot Noir, which I always have. Peter, do you drink or smoke or edibles? Nothing. You
It's
just go through
unfortunate.
life unmedicated.
he goes through life like white knuckling it.
I was at this retail investor conference in Orlando the past couple of days, and they gave us these like drink stamps,
Right.
and I was like trying to give them away. Like,
You're like
hey,
the most
You can
popular
give 'em
guy,
to me.
right?
yeah, for
You used
real.
to give them to me anytime we would go to an event.
Right.
I would always end up with his drink ticket and my drink ticket.
I was just in Orlando. If I'd known, I would have come pick up some of your drink tabs there.
Yeah, really. Well, I mean, I don't really know whether it was any quality stuff. I mean, I saw some. There was Di Serono. There was a couple of bourbons I saw that was up there. So yeah, I guess
Okay.
yeah, it probably would have been worth it. I mean, that depends if you're going to drink that. I mean, on occasion, yeah, I'll have a beer on like a football Sunday, or maybe a glass of Cabernet if it's like a special occasion. But in terms of just like drink, never. Like it, you got to like drag me to have a drink. And then smoking, absolutely not. Like the weed.
He has smoked weed. You'll smoke
Yeah.
weed occasionally, and you'll smoke cigar occasionally.
No, I don't smoke cigar, but I love the smell of a good tobacco cigar leaf. Like I do.
Yeah.
Like I would have
cigar. I don't mind it.
like the best candle that I have in my house
Smells
is
like a cigar.
it's called Tobacco Bark. Like that's the name.
Wow.
It's a really good, like that's my favorite candle by far.
Yeah.
So
Peter doesn't
would-
party, Leila. Peter doesn't party.
well, can't help it.
So you were in Orlando for your boys.
So my
was it-
younger son, his baseball college tournament. Yeah, we were in Orlando. The
Who does he
Russ
play
met.
for?
Carleton College in Minnesota.
Oh, Leila did not spare any expense on her son's education.
Dude.
You're gonna be paying for that. You're going to be paying for that shit for a long time.
We are, I mean, they've been incredibly generous with financial aid,
I was
thankfully.
going to say, does he play sports though? I
Well,
mean,
he's
does
a
he get
Division
any
III
help?
baseball player.
Yeah, no, but for D3, you don't get money, but we get financial aid. They've been incredibly generous. $94,000 a year is what they're charging.
Yeah.
It's obscene. It's obscene.
Yeah, but
Because I
again,
have a college age kid in private school too, but it's not like that. He goes to Flagler in St. Augustine, and it's definitely like a lot of people from cold weather places go there if they
Yeah.
can't get into the University of Miami. Is what
Right,
I
right,
think.
right.
Now, to be fair, this particular liberal arts college is the most exclusive private college in all of Minnesota. So it's not a stretch to, think that they're going to make it very expensive, but they made it expensive to the extent that they want you to know that this is only for the elites. This is not for regular people. You are
That's
not
me.
allowed to come here.
I'm the elite. Again, I will say that they are incredibly generous with financial aid, thank goodness, because we are right now worth negative $240,000.
He better get himself.
You guys have been hit really hard. You guys have been hit really hard.
Terrible. I hate it.
What does he play?
He is pitcher, first base, catcher, but mostly in college now he's pitching.
How fast can he throw it?
I think 86 is his high right now.
If he wants them to really look at him, he's got to try to get to like 88, 90 even.
All right. You know what I think of?
I'm trying to make sure. Hey, excuse me. I am trying to figure out a way to get this student debt removed. Okay.
I know.
One of the ways to do it is to get picked up in the farm system. That's all I'm saying.
That also leads to all sorts of shoulder and rotator cuff and major medical problems when you're constantly putting that much. And as a mama, that's not what you do. You don't do that. You don't say, if only you could get it faster. That's just not what you do.
Both of my boys have frequent flyer cards at the ER, like both of them. Constant. Constant. It's constant.
This is why my kids don't do sports.
No.
This is what capitalism has reduced certain families to. Son, you better make it to the majors.
Oh, for sure. I think we do not think that way, but I think that is for a lot of people. It's that that's your only option. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Let me ask you, Leila, how did you guys end up? Talk about that a little bit, because I know that it's not that you can't come from money, but I know that you were in a way where you definitely hit hard times. And I know there was the strike, and I know that there were all these things, and there was the housing stuff. And I know that you're in California, which is insane.
Yeah.
And how scary is this in terms of when that happened, in terms of where your kids were in life?
Yeah.
Right. Because it's one thing if your kids are on their own and, but would you mind talking a little bit about how this happened?
It's awful, actually. And I feel like the whole nation has become Hollywood's the model, where we're all sort of desperate out here. So I've been here since 92. My husband came in 90. He's a writer director. I'm an actress, and, waited tables forever and did all the odd jobs. And then he started selling scripts. And when that happens, you become sort of delusional. You're like, wait, we're out of debt. And this is just how it's always going to be, but it's not, because you're So, we got a house, and we got another house, and everything in LA is ridiculous. And then in 2008, there was the first writer's strike, and we lost our house, because what happened was there were a couple jobs that he was up for. And then after 6 months or 8 months, hi, Josie, after 6 or 8 months, when everything comes back, there's a new studio boss. Well, he doesn't want to do the projects that the last guy 8 months ago was hoping to do, right? So it's not like when the strike ends and you're in the entertainment industry, you just go right back to work. A lot of those jobs aren't there anymore, or things have shifted. So that's when we lost our first house. And then we were renting an apartment, and now we're renting a house, which is, so great. And I'm so thankful. But then 3 years ago, there was another writer's strike and an actor's strike. And and then because of AI, I think that the employment in Hollywood right now is down by about 75%. It's insane. And of course that has downstream effects, right? It's everything from a dry cleaner to a restaurant to small groceries. And then the rents just keep going up. And our gas is $8 a gallon right now. So
we could get one of those high-speed rail projects finally taken care of.
Yeah, except what's his name? Musk. He got rid of that. He invented the single car tunnel to basically to crush that project, the high-speed rail project, because high-speed rail mass transit would, would go against his bottom line. So he worked really hard lobbying against those high-speed rail projects.
I mean, is there anywhere, are you stuck out there?
I mean, my whole family's back east, so I miss them. My older son graduated college last year. He's back here in Los Angeles. So it would really break my heart to have to leave since he's here and he has a whole world here. But like, I want to be part of his world. And I think my younger son also, who wants to be a screenwriter, will come out here, so. And like, my husband is leaving in 2 weeks to go to Alabama to shoot a movie. Like the crazy thing is he has projects, they hold on to the money. It's just, we're all treated like we're dispensable, right? Because the longer they hold on to the money, the longer they make interest on it. So you don't get paid for things, or it happens in steps. And like he's working full time and he got paid for the script like a year ago, but he's about to direct it. And, like all of that stuff.
Yeah.
We see money sitting in Writers Guild that's residuals that was supposed to have come to us 2 weeks ago. Still hasn't come. And who do you say? Who do you talk to? Nobody.
Meanwhile, they're putting that blonde princess Zionazi, Scarlett Johansson, remaking The Exorcist, and they're doing that in New York right now. Oh yeah.
Is she? I thought at one point, I know at one point she got flack for doing SodaStream, but I thought she stepped back from, because SodaStream, I think, is
she's very proud,
really
pro-Israel. Yeah.
That's gross.
That's
gross.
Unfortunate.
And I do want to ask you, because obviously, you just had the Oscars, you had the only person who appears to be worth his sweat, which is Javier Bardem, and Penelope Cruz, of course, she's right, alongside with him. But leave it to the Spanish to, lead the way, as they are doing across the pond as well.
Yep.
What, if anything, is changing? Because I'm not really sure much is. You have, I have a friend who worked with, Weinstein and always knew the shit that he was up to. And then we're talking about like 15 years ago. So when this stuff started coming out, I'm thinking, yeah, but he's probably not the only one. And then you find out about Epstein and all these interconnected pieces. And, I think there's really something to be said for Hollywood versus the craft of art that is acting. And there's the affiliation with Southern California, I think, really hurts people that want to be in the business, I think.
Yeah, and it's, one of the things about everything going digital was it democratized, right? Like you can shoot a whole film on your camera. That's amazing. But then what that also means, more people are flooding the market with more projects. And then the studios buy up those independent outfits anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. It's very frustrating. They're fine replacing us all with AI. They, anytime you go to cast, like I've produced a couple of Josh's movies, they want to know like how many followers you have. But, that started like when I first was out here, there wasn't social media. They wanted to know your Q score, and basically it was the same idea. Like, how high do you rate? And we all know so many shows and movies where the cast was unknowns or the director was first-time writer director or whatever. And they can be really special and fantastically written and acted and break through, but it's a very conservative business. And there's a lot of failure.
I wouldn't even say it's conservative. I just think it's
financially, like they want to justify their failures, and they can do that if it's like, but it was Tom Cruise and it wasn't this unknown guy, so it flopped. But you know what I mean? Like, conservative that way. Like, they're not trying to take chances.
Not risk taking. This isn't the 70s and 80s anymore. So I actually, and I didn't even tell Jen this, but I had a little bit of which I rarely have. I had a little bit of downtime the other night, and so I actually watched for the first time To Live and Die in L.A. And movies like that don't get made anymore, and endings like that are not done like that anymore. And that was really the movie that was William Dafoe's coming out party, who that people think I resemble him a little bit, which is always interesting. The two people that I get the most,
we get that,
we get Buscemi, and I get Walken the most. Those are the
sometimes your voice sounds like Walken, and I can see Buscemi, but you're like his more handsome brother. but I see the, like, I
Peter has better teeth.
Yeah, you're talking to me like you know me, and you don't know me. You're just assuming. That's not good. You know, should get to know each other a little better. Maybe I'll have a glass of wine too. Then we'll see.
Get it.
Yeah,
Get
no,
out your tabs.
Look, I appreciate great art. And frankly, I appreciate great art on the stage. Maybe because I'm from the Northeast, I'm from New Jersey. I can appreciate a stage play, as much as I can appreciate a great film, which is why I've always been partial to the New York actors, which is why I think so many people were drawn to Streep, Pacino, Walken, De Niro, etc., because the acting that they put on film is acting that you would see, you know, on stage essentially. And I think so much of the acting that we see today that is put on celluloid, if you will, but really on digital, etc. These are not people that could get up on the stage and do that stuff. They're not capable. And I think that in many ways is another component that's a lost art. But more than anything else, the risk-taking comes in multiple layers. The risk-taking of saying what needs to be said about what's going on. Right. You know, when you had, I know you two were little tykes at the time, but way back in 1979, there were the No Nukes concerts and people that were noted figures within the industry. Frickin', look at what Vanessa Redgrave did back in 1978.
Well, they made an example of her.
It's over. That's over.
But look what they did to her. They made a total example of her. She was shunned. Look what they did to, you know, Michael Moore. Susan Sarandon. I mean, it's insane to me that anybody can look at what Israel is doing, what our government is doing, and still cry anti-Semitism if somebody criticizes a genocide, you know, but and I don't think that's in most of the country. It's like the limousine liberals, right? That's what they are, limousine liberals.
They're very comfortable.
Yeah.
People that are very comfortable don't like things that make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm still sitting here thinking about Javier Bardem, because I got to tell you, that man has had it going on, and he is aging so well. Speaking of which, I do have to give a shout out for people, anybody asking. So, and we didn't do this enough because it was so casual, but Leila is the host of Punch Up podcast with her co-host, Pat Cody. And I was going to say, he is looking good.
Very handsome co-host I have.
Oh, let me tell you, that facial hair is suiting him well. Rachel and I were both like a little been good.
Ladies, I think he's single.
Not frozen anymore, but you were frozen.
You were frozen for a little bit. I thought it was me, but then I realized, but you're back.
No, I don't know. I haven't had problems yet so far with the internet. But it wouldn't surprise me if it happens eventually. I'm I'm in the middle of nowhere now, Leila. You know, I moved to North Georgia and I live on basically in a valley, in a farm valley. And
that's amazing.
I'm surrounded by cows. Like well, it's dark now, but I see cows out my window. And
I love that.
So, but being that the internet is not the same as it used to be.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, I don't want to be a complete Debbie Downer about the entertainment world, because I do think there is some positive. Now, I am totally against the Nepo baby conscription of Hollywood entertainment. Yeah. However, there is one in particular that decided to make a very strong statement the other day that you may or may not have seen. For those who don't know who Brian Williams' daughter is, Allison Williams, she was in that popular horror movie Get Out.
Get Out, yeah.
I remember.
And then, of course, you have one of my favorite comedic actors of probably the past 20 years, because I was one of the early watchers of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, right at the beginning when Danny DeVito came on board, and that, of course, is Charlie Day. And so this was taken the other day in New York City. Trust me, the subliminal message is not so subtle. It's pretty thick.
Hey, Charlie Day.
Hi.
Are you having a good day?
Are you serious?
Stop. Hey, Charlie.
Yes.
Now, I got to tell you, I don't think there's nothing really subtle about that at all.
No.
I think that's pretty.
Okay. That would make me so happy. I was all set to despise her the way I despise her father. But so you think that was intentional?
Absolutely,
not-
this is intentional. She's
And-
not asking him anything, really. She's just wanting to aim the phone out the window.
And does the conversation continue, or
Let's
is
see.
it
You'll see.
okay?
Yes, Allison, yes.
What is it like playing a character that's named Charlie?
I love that. Oh my God, that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Good. We need a little of that,
A little
right?
bit, yeah.
Allison Williams, are you free Palestine? Do you
Allison
hate the Jews? What did I do? I was just having a conversation with Charlie. I had no idea there was a Palestinian.
It's a silent
double
protest.
flag.
She's
Yeah.
taking a stand.
I will tell you though, I mean, so that makes me happier than what I was bracing myself for. We're 2.5 years into this genocide. And I would love for her to get in her father's ear and tell him to use his enormous platform with MS Now or NBC or whatever the hell. Why they let him back in the building after he lied about being under attack, back in whatever,
Right. Remember
coming out of
that?
Iraq or whatever. Yeah. And
He was
I mean-
just taking Hillary Clinton's advice, Leila. You know that.
yeah, exactly. But like,
Maybe this is her doing that. Maybe she had said to him, maybe I mean, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that it's not like outright, Zionist or anything like that, but I do wish there were more people in Los Angeles who use their voices and their platforms.
Yeah.
The truth is, like, we lost all of our friends basically in 2020, and it's only gotten worse. And I stopped commenting. Like, I just don't even go on Facebook, because if we lose the few jobs that we do get, nobody will notice our absence. It's not like, Susan Sarandon gets fired, and I mean, they're still doing a good job of trying to silence her and not allow her to be in major films. But like, that is an event or a moment or something people can talk about. If I lose my agent, or Josh, my husband, loses a job, like, nobody's going to care. And then we're just like out. But I do really not understand why there are so few people who have been vocal about this moral blight on humanity. I just don't.
They're scared. They're cowards. I'm curious to see where this goes.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Sorry.
I got fired recently because I decided not to be silent. So there's that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get to that in a minute.
What's with these stupid questions?
Sorry. Hey, Charlie. Charlie.
Pretending to be asleep so you'll stop asking me dumb questions.
Okay, while you're asleep, let me ask you a question.
Okay, go.
Would you change your name to Charlie IBM?
I don't even get the reference. Charlie.
Rob Mack. Dude, you're getting.
Oh my God.
What about Charlie Dell?
Oh my God.
Oh, see, well, he left.
I want to say something so badly.
Do you ever do the wrong thing?
Good actor, by the way.
Stupid.
All right, that was it. I mean, I think that the beginning was the only real.
I think Giancarlo Esposito's spoken out, or at least about
I think
ICE.
he
Now I
has.
can't remember.
He's
I mean, a
great.
lot of people haven't made that correlation. Like, they're anti-ICE. Like, you'll get Bruce Springsteen, singing a song, but
Yeah, but
that's-
you see, I'm trying to get. You see, Butch Ware is going to come on again soon, and I want him to come on with Roger Waters, and I want to ask Roger directly, because if anybody has been a colossal disappointment above colossal disappointments, it is Bruce, because he knows better and he knows what's going on, and he is a billionaire. He is a billionaire with a B.
yeah.
I think Roger Waters is going to tell you that Springsteen's always been a jerk.
I think so.
I think Roger Waters probably thinks that he's been a douchebag and a poser all this time.
Or not even a jerk, that he's just a fraud. Like, he's not.
That's
who
what I
he
mean, a poser.
portrays himself to
Yeah.
be. Now, if you thought that clip of Charlie Day was good, apparently this one's even better.
Charlie, you play Luigi, a great Italian guy. Who's your favorite Luigi in recent American history?
Recent American history. Well, me, first of all, number one. Luigi Mangione.
Basta. Così. Mangia. Certo. I love it. I love it.
That's a good guy.
Okay.
No, he is not.
Springsteen is not Jewish.
He's not
Okay.
Jewish.
If it was Jewish, it would be Stein.
Springsteen.
Norman Jewison isn't Jewish, which is weird. That's what
that's
Luigi
mentioned.
Number 2. That's perfect. That's only one.
That's one we want to thank you. Thank you.
Now, I don't know who this Blondie is that's covering her face that she doesn't want to see the
Is
fact
she
that
from
Charlie.
Queen's Gambit? Is that who that is? I don't know.
Anna Joy or something
Yeah,
like that.
I think, but I just can't see her face in it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said what
It's
he
whoever did whatever this project is.
Where
Yeah,
he plays
said
Luigi.
He said Luigi Mangione. That's
Yeah.
a guy. Let me
But I
tell you,
think
it's
that, yeah.
one thing to stand in front of the Palestinian flag. You are really not hiding anything when you say, "Oh, Luigi Mangione." He's just like throwing it out there. He's like, "Fuck yeah, that's who I." And one of the truly great people, and he's not a Hollywood guy, he's a Jersey guy, but one of the truly great people is Danny DeVito, and it's obvious that Danny has rubbed off onto Charlie.
Yes.
in a big way.
Danny DeVito's amazing, Bernie guy back in the day. And I hope that that's the case. I love that he said that. Those are two good clips to play back to back. I'm a fan anyway, but now I'm even more of a fan.
Let me tell you, did you watch It's Always Sunny? Like, were you a watcher of the show?
Yes, but I haven't seen, like, my younger son has watched all of it twice through, and they're really into it. I've watched many of them, but not all of them.
Okay, so like I said, I watched it at the beginning when it was a small time thing, and I remember when he came out with the Dayman song. I thought it was one of the funniest things I'd ever heard, and they turned it into like this mini show that they did in Philadelphia for like 2 nights. McElhenney actually got them like, no, we're gonna go on stage, we're gonna do the real thing.
That's awesome.
And they did Dayman, fighter of the night. And I'm like, God, I love these guys. That's entertainment.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be.
It is, and I think that the origin story of It's Always Sunny is that they filmed it themselves as a spec and then sold it, which is amazing. Like,
it is, and they went through one season before. I think that they were trying to get DeVito involved, but then eventually, I think it was like DeVito's daughter, and she saw it and was like, "Daddy, you got to see this." And
that's cool.
He was like, "Oh, I'm in." It's like, but that's
awesome.
That's Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to cover some news.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Peter.
Well, we have the actors.
Right? You threw in the whole. I wasn't prepared for your whole celebrity offshoot Charlie Day thing.
You can't tell me that was not news relevant in that it covered both Palestine and Luigi.
Okay, it's definitely I'm not saying it's not like positive to watch, but there is like news.
The floor is yours, Jen.
Nothing's happening in the world.
We talked about what we want to talk about. We have our stuff we want to talk about, but I don't know if you saw this last week, Leila, but we had a guest from Gaza.
Oh no, I didn't because I was traveling. So tell me.
Okay, so you need to go back and watch the interview with this kid. He's a university student in Gaza. Fortunately, his name's Muhammad because that way I can, I don't forget it. And it was like it was very hard for me to hold it together.
Yeah.
It was really hard for me to hold together. I mean, this kid's in between both my boys' age, right? Yeah. And he was born in captivity. And yet he's sitting there speaking to us in English.
Amazing.
And he's graduating from school in the middle of a Holocaust. Our education system is producing morons. Am I missing
intentionally? Intentionally. I mean, clearly we need people, we need cogs in the machine. So keep them uneducated and poor and they'll sign up.
Yeah, I thought of you during that interview, like, because you and I are in very similar states in terms of we both have boys, they're similar in age, like this. And this kid comes on and he's in a cafe in the middle of the night in Gaza that they let him go in and yeah, that's right. It was Mohammed Al-Turk. And the guy in the cafe kept it open so he could come on our show.
Oh.
And so you'll probably be getting some sort of email from Rachel. She's trying to set him up to do. He wants people to know his story.
Yeah, I would love that.
He was just, I mean, it's frustrating and he's definitely got a lot of anger, but he knows who the problem is. And what was really very nice for me is for people to see that he not once used Jewish or said Jews. Not once. Didn't even come up. It was the Israelis and the Zionists, the evil Zionists, like that. And I thought that we could do better, since if they can distinguish the difference like that, we could do better. But it was definitely like harsh.
Watching people studying in a tent that's filling with water and the energy that goes into keeping their youth well educated in the midst of a genocide is truly, it just breaks my heart on every level. I'm so angry all the time and sad, but it is phenomenal to see where their focus lies, and that education is so important. And, we should be learning from other countries, and instead we just want to obliterate them. I don't know. It's just really, I have very little hope left, gotta say.
Yeah. So I just wanted.
That's beautiful. We would love that.
Check out the interview, and it was hard for me to kind of keep it together. That was definitely one of the harder,
conversations
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you want to start with, Peter? Do you want to start with Zio pervert, Zio pussy? I mean, I don't know. Where do you want to go?
So we might as well cover it because we were in South Florida politics for a while, and we knew that it's just kind of one of those lost causes. And you're seeing a couple of prime examples of that now, first with Sheila Cherfilus-McCormack being found guilty of over 20 counts of various forms of fraud, money laundering, if you will. And now the question is she going to get kicked out of Congress? And on the one hand, I think without question that she did do what she did. And the biggest reason I think she's going to go down is not simply because she took the money and used it to win a congressional seat. She did take the money, and then she went out and bought a 6-figure diamond ring and flashed it all over, Capitol Hill. It's like when you start doing that shit, that's the stuff that comes for you for.
Yeah.
So disappointed in Sheila. And
I actually don't know much about her. Sorry.
Okay. No, she's the congressperson, and she was running when I ran the first time in 20, and I knew her, and she didn't win that year, but then she won in a special election in 22 for that her same seat. And so I know her, Peter and I know her. We know people that work with her, and this is just really disappointing.
It's horrible.
It's just disappointing.
Yeah.
But that brings us to this sort of sub story of this story.
Okay.
Right? Is that where you're going to go? Do you want to talk about Sheila first, Peter? Do you want to?
Well, I mean, I am talking about her, aren't I?
Yeah, no. But where's that article? Because that's what I'm
grabbing
saying.
in 1 second.
Okay.
Well,
I was going to say that article.
Got to roll with it,
Yeah.
1 second.
Because then this connects to another very interesting story. Here it is.
Wow. That's a lot of ethics violations.
The vote came after a nearly 7-hour televised House trial. That's all it took. They were ready. Cherfilus-McCormack has denied any wrongdoing, of course, and pleads not guilty to criminal charges. She was also taking, I think, Ozempic for a while. She lost a lot of weight, and
she lost a lot of weight. You know what's so devastating about this? Like what this does to the Haitian community.
She's the first elected Haitian in the history of Congress.
Yeah, I mean that. And how was she politically? Was she good? I don't know.
Very moderate, but at the end of the day, she probably would have been a pretty decent congresswoman if she wasn't caught up in scandal. Because of the fact that she got caught up in scandal, she started saying very, very favorable things about Israel.
And that is very upsetting. That was when she basically kind of stopped for responding to me. I texted her, said, I know you're not this. She was already in Congress, and all this stuff happened. And I said, I know that this is going to come up for you, but please understand this is, my perspective. She's gone. She's gone.
Then apparently she was spending a lot of money on security detail and got a bunch of fancy SUVs. This is the type of shit that they do. This is what these people do. They get into federal office and they think they're like a kid in a candy shop. and they could do whatever the hell they want. And this is the same thing that they did with Alex, with Maxwell Frost. They get him in there. They take it. I remember when they took Alex and Maxwell on that all expenses paid trip to the Far East, took them into Japan and China, gave them a 5-star treatment trip all over, Tokyo and Beijing. And it's like, what do you think is going to happen?
Of course.
It's a simple conversation after it's all said and done.
Yep.
It's like you got your first major role, first major studio role. Universal decided to take you on. Yeah. Leila, we could get you under contract to give you 5 movies, but you have to understand.
Yeah.
I think it's sad. It's sad because she was doing good things for the Haitian community and helping do, I don't know. It's very, it's disappointing. So do you want to read this article?
I'll breeze through it real quick, but essentially,
you can. I think if you go, is there something at the end that it talks about the ethics violations, or is this just a short article? I think it might just be short.
There's some stuff in there, but basically, Cherfilus-McCormack has denied any wrongdoing, pleaded not guilty to the 25 charges. I look forward to proving my innocence. You already had a trial; you were found guilty.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna ask you to step down. Representative Greg Stubbe of Florida, Republican, said Friday
she wasn't found guilty in a criminal trial. Okay,
no, but she was found she was found guilty of 25 ethics violations, which means that she is basically a sitting duck. And so, in a post on X, Greg Stubbe, Republican of Florida, says he's pushing for procedure to expel Cherfilus-McCormack. Once makes recommendations about how to sanction her, the committee said it will hold a hearing after the House's 2-week spring recess to determine any possible sanctions, which could include censure, removal from committees, or expulsion. You can't crime your way into legitimate power. Maria Gluestenkamp Perez.
That's how they all get power. Come on now.
Of course. Now there's a little. Let me see. Okay, so
how shocking that Tupac or AIPAC Shakur didn't comment. He didn't comment when he was asked about whether or not she should stay in Congress because he has the same Zio donors.
So. Of course, in 2023, the House expelled then Rep. Jewish George Santos in a bipartisan 311 to 114 vote, making him the first House member in modern history to be expelled before federal conviction. The Justice Department indicted Cherfilus-McCormack in November on charges that she stole and laundered $5 million in federal emergency management agency funding. Her family's healthcare company, Trinity Healthcare Services, had been working with FEMA through a COVID-19 contract, but then received a $5 million overpayment. She was supposed to receive $50,000. They added 2 zeros, and she got $5 million. That's what happened. It was an actual typing error.
I want that to happen for me.
No, you don't. Look what happens.
I know. Just a couple zeros.
Yeah, but I think this is the whole thing that Debbie initiated, right? This is the whole thing that Debbie Wasserman Schultz initiated.
She could face 50 years if convicted, yes. And so Wasserman Schultz apparently, from my intel, is that she was the one pushing for this behind the scenes because she absolutely hated Sheila. Hated her with the passion of 1,000 birds.
Right.
Because Sheila had the audacity to run for Congress before Alcee Hastings died for that seat.
Oh my God.
And that was what always pissed her off because they thought they were going to get to choose. And Debbie had been voting for Alcee.
Debbie was breaking federal law repeatedly. She always breaks federal law when but she was deliberately breaking federal law by voting on behalf of Alcee Hastings. She did it for 2 congressional terms. Yeah, she was casting his vote. He was never there. He was basically hospitalized with cancer treatment. That's what he was doing until he died.
Wait, how was she allowed to do that?
Because she's above the law.
They do that. They vote for.
She's above the law. That's all.
Oh yeah.
It's not a conspiracy. It's what it is.
Yeah.
So then this comes to a local story, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. No one's going to know who this lady is, but
no one's going to know who she is. And that's not necessarily the point right now of this. So a few days ago, the vice mayor of Coral Springs, sitting commissioner, was murdered in her home by her husband. Well, allegedly by her husband. So this is, and the reason that this is relevant is that Nancy Mateer, who is the woman who was just murdered, was planning on running for Sheila's seat.
Their home. Nancy Bowen was.
Oh, this
the
is
one
a
thing
video?
about
I just wanted an article.
No, I'm not trying to do the video. Here's the thing. If you try to go and like look at any articles today, if you're not going through the paywall, they will plaster the shit out of your page with ads relentlessly. This is the thing about, you know, what should happen.
Yeah,
So
but
anyway.
this is the story. This is the one I think that references Moskowitz.
So
are you familiar with
Vice
Representative Moskowitz?
I am. We had Oliver Larkin on the show and got to play a few clips of Moskowitz to show what we could be getting rid of. Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to read it? I mean, I don't care.
Like, sure.
I don't really care. Coral Springs Vice Mayor Nancy Mateer Bowen's body was found by police who were conducting a wellness check, according to a statement from the city. The Coral Springs Police Department has initiated an investigation. Her husband, Stephen Bowen, was arrested following preliminary investigation, adding that it was determined the incident was a domestic in nature and there were no additional suspects. Listed him as in custody. Keep scrolling. I want to get to the part about her being like planning on that, running for that seat. Yeah, okay. So before becoming vice mayor, she was the first Black and Haitian American female commissioner of Coral Springs, first elected in 2020, blah, blah, blah. So, and also the backstory behind this, Leila, is was part of this group of mean girls in Broward County Dem politics that were so mean and so bad to me when I ran. And there's like this mean clique of girls. So that's just all part of it. She was an environmental scientist, blah, blah, blah. All right, keep going. This is where it gets interesting. I thought this was the thing about, was this not the article that mentioned how Moskowitz was supporting?
I don't know. Did you send it to Colin? Because I had to grab
it. And I did look through that. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Yeah, this is all about this Here it is. Keep going. Here it is. She had such a future. Lawmakers around the state expressed condolences and shock at the death of the beloved vice mayor while praising her leadership. This will be like accolades from the Mean Girls group out the yin yang.
Yeah.
Florida Democratic Party Chair Nikki Fried said in a Wednesday statement that it was with a broken heart and profound grief that the Florida Democratic Party mourns the sudden and horrific death of our beloved Vice Chair Nancy Mateer Bowen. Just days ago, I spoke with Nancy. Just 2 weeks ago, I held her in a hug at our party's leadership summit, never imagining it would be one of our last moments together. And again, this is horrible. I'm not suggesting this is not horrible.
Right.
Now you want to talk about a insane Zio scum of the worst kind. Nikki Fried is Boca, bratty, privileged Jewish woman, pro-Israel.
Exactly. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Here it is right here. Keep scrolling. Representative Jared Moskowitz said on social media that he was in shock after learning about her death. I was just with her on Saturday. She just buried her brother. She was about to announce she was running for Congress, he wrote. Nancy was one of the nicest people I worked with, always fighting for her community, always pushing to help. She has such a future. This is terrible. So first, I'm going to finally get to show the Zio pussy graphic that I have been wanting to show for a very, very long time. Behold, everybody, the Zio pussy. That is Representative Moskowitz.
He is awful. Truly awful.
So anywho, this is who was saying how nice she was. And here's the thing, and I always say this when people are, if you have nothing good to say about the dead, say nothing, they're dead good. This is one of those people. I don't care what these people say. This woman got one of my closest friends fired and then lied about it. These people in the Democratic Party in Florida are snakes. I told Oliver Larkin this when he was on our show. I even specifically mentioned Nancy Mateer.
Yeah.
And said I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her.
Yeah.
So that's why all of this is so interesting, because Oliver Larkin was asking about some of these people in that local politics.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not to be trusted. And
I can't imagine they would go near him because he's very vocal about being anti-genocide and calling out names specifically, unlike some other people who are in power.
Yeah, but this is what you also have to remember about politics in general. And we saw this for years with Wasserman Schultz. It doesn't matter if people agree with them politically. What matters is, can they help me climb the ladder? Can they help me maintain a position of influence and power?
Right.
And so whether it is Nancy Mateo or any of her cohorts that were involved in Broward politics, they went about getting power in a very almost volatile kind of way.
Yeah, it sounds.
There was an incident that took place with her group and myself when I was clipping B-roll footage for Jen's TV ad. When I was the congressional manager for her back in 20, I basically wore every hat. And so one of the hats that I wore was the digital side. And so we would put these ads together. And it just so happened that again, I'm sure you've done ads. I'm sure you know how quickly things can flip. It's 0.8 seconds in some instances. The person's in a clip. So it just so happens on one B-roll shot, one of those girls was in the shot.
In the background. At a festival. Like it was a public event.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with the ad.
Right.
Nothing. Just happened to have flashed across the screen.
Right.
Well, this person proceeded to make a post online talking about how this is the most terrible thing that's ever happened to her.
And how she supports Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And these are supposedly
supports Wasserman Schultz.
It's disgusting.
And the way that they were talking about Jen and how she's a disgusting human and all this stuff. So I came onto her thread and I said, I did it. I put you in that ad by accident. If you're going to get mad at anybody, please get mad at me. Because if there's one thing people know about me, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I do not let this stuff get to me at all. And if you want to call me names, which they certainly did, they called me a white supremacist and a patriarchy guy and all that shit.
They did, right.
He's a misogynist,
Yeah. And my attitude is, you all need to get laid. That's basically what your problem is. And they did what they did, but unfortunately, again, I don't.
Did you remove that? Did you remove that clip?
I didn't remove the clip, but I cut her
Spliced her out. Yeah.
And so
that's so lame.
They were so ridiculous.
That's the type of stuff.
So ridiculous.
That's the type of stuff that they would do, and then they would go to these events and they would get decked out like it was the grand ball of a lifetime
because they're public servants.
There was one girl in particular in the group who was really, really bad to Jen, and she was so bad. But I always said, just remember something: she's so unlikable that she couldn't get elected dog catcher. That's how unlikable a person the McDonald's fries would be. That's
I know who you're talking about.
And so this is to me an example of, if you're angry at you hate yourself and then you want to project it onto other people, that's your shortcoming. If you want to take it out on me, that's fine, because it doesn't bother me. But when you are in politics for the purpose of tearing people down so that you can get a leg up, that is a very common practice, and what will not be talked about. And again, rest in peace, Nancy. I didn't have interactions with you. In fact,
no, I'm not celebrating the death.
I was at an event with her and her husband, and we sat across from each other like the entire time. And the amazing thing about what happens in life, and it reverts back to things like psychopathy, sociopathy, narcissism. You don't know when you're standing or interacting with people that have those traits, that are capable of doing those things. And so what my religion is, if you want to call it that, is the karmic alignment of the universe. What you put out into the universe.
Are you insane? Who are you? What have you done with my partner? I'm the one who told you about the karmic alignment of the universe. What are you talking about?
You really have a habit of not letting me finish what I'm saying. So can I please finish?
I can't believe you said karmic alignment of the universe. I'm sorry.
What you put out into the universe is generally what you're going to get back. And if what you give out to the universe is, I'm going to crush people by any means necessary. And if you're going to share with somebody that you're not just sharing with anybody that you're running for Congress. And of course, the common theme here is that Sheila Cherfilus-McCormack is a wounded animal, and I'm going to step on her now because, she's involved in scandal. But the person that she's going and seeking advice from is one of the most proud, hardened Zio scum suckers in all of Congress, that this is the person that I'm affiliating with, and I am one of only 2 elected Haitian representatives in South Florida. And this, although I think Chevron Jones might be Haitian, I could be wrong about that. The point is, you cannot look back on what you've done, dead or alive, and say that what you did was good and just, when you know quite well that if those are the people that you're affiliating with, whether it is Debbie Wasserman Schultz or Jared Moskowitz, those people are scum. They're beyond scum. Yeah. They are genocide enablers, frankly. Yeah. They are genocide co-conspirators, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. They're complicit. Absolutely they are. That's disgusting and really unfortunate. And it just is another example of how most people don't go into politics to be public servants. Like it really is just a cult of power. It's just horrible.
It is. Are you going to do a Zio Hunter bit, or do you want to do the environmental thing, or do you want to do the pardons, or do you want to do your your Zio tool of whoever you're calling out?
If you have your
because I made this for you. You got to see it, though. You got to see it. This I made for you.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Someone's gonna clip that shit and
How funny is that, though? Isn't that's the bounty hunter guy?
That's hilarious.
I know, because I feel like every live stream you have a Zio that you're calling out, and so I kind of feel like we need to call it Peter Hager Zio Hunter.
That's pretty good. That's
it
pretty
actually
great.
is. It's like, I mean, I need to be in the gym a couple of more months to get to that spot.
I was going to say it's not that much of a resemblance, but yeah.
I just like that this is where the camera gets me. I can just pretend everything else is working the way it's supposed to.
Everything else is working the way it's supposed to.
That's very funny. I love that.
Yeah. Right, so are you going to do, who were you calling out? You had some, we want to do, is the pardon the same as the Zio shit?
Yeah. So the guy in question here his name is Charlie Weish, I think is how you say it. Charlie Weish. So Charlie Weish is he's Brazilian, British YouTuber, and he's another Tommy Robinson. I'm not convinced that this person loves Israel, but he loves them to the extent that they're paying him to love Israel and go after people that apparently are in favor of Palestine. Just out of the clear blue.
Yeah.
No no warning, nothing. Just let me go fuck with this person because it'll look good on camera. So here we go. P Dog Zion.
I'm from Israel. I love your shirt. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Do you really mean it? Free Palestine? From Hamas? From Hamas?
Oh, you like Israel, yeah?
I'm from Israel.
I'm not.
Okay, so right off the bat, he's a liar. He's not from Israel. He's from Brazil. But he loves Israel because this is what's doing it for him. And of all the people he's going to go after, he goes after the most white person possible. You don't want to be showing guys that look like me saying free Palestine because that hurts your cause.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in a big way.
Yeah.
So what he hopes to...
Where is this? Is this at a soccer thing?
London or Liverpool.
It looks like they're in Liverpool. Is that what it is? Or is that... Yeah. I think I saw this clip because it's from a few weeks ago, right? And doesn't he go up to lots of other people also, or no?
I think it's from like a week ago or something.
Okay. But is he? No, he's not an Israeli in Brazil. He's actually Brazilian.
Yeah, he was. Well, I think he's born in Brazil. He may have. Well, again, this is the thing about Israelis.
They are dual citizens. I mean, like all these people.
But they don't exist. It's just made up. There is no such thing as Israel. You made it up. So when someone says, I'm from Israel, no. Where are you
You're
really
from Narnia.
Yeah.
You might as well say you're from Narnia.
Yeah, from Narnia. But they're from And here's the dirtiest of dirty little secrets about where so many of them come from and why the connection over the past few years just makes so much sense now. A substantial portion of people that are from Israel are actually from Ukraine. And isn't that sweet? Isn't the connections always so ridiculously commonplace?
Yeah.
Because that's how it is. And some are from Russia, some are from Poland, like Netanyahu Milikowski.
That's right.
Yes, this is how it is. But going up and attacking the all-American white guy or all-British white guy? Oh, no. This is not helping you. This is hurting you.
Yeah.
But please keep doing it.
So yeah, I see you got 2 flags of Israel on the back. What does that mean? You got double Israel. It's Israel, my friend. No, it's Israel. But you don't look Palestinian. So why are you getting involved?
So I can't support Palestine.
Well, you can support terror, but why?
You're for genocide.
We're talking about the history.
Dude, you've got a great shaped skull. Sorry, but anyway. So you're from Palestine?
Yes,
I see you've escaped the Islamists and now you're living in the free West. I'm happy for you.
I'm Christian before you were even born.
That's how you talk to a piece of shit like
Ugh,
that. I
they're
am
just so
Christian.
vile, and they think they own everything.
Well, you live by Beverly Hills and Bel Air. I mean, don't they own everything? I heard Encino's another one. Encino's another town with that shit.
Encino, Calabasas, Brentwood. It's
you know where my husband's from, right, Leila?
No.
Calabasas.
Really? Oh, wait, is he? Sorry, can I ask? Is he in Georgia with you?
No,
Are you guys making
is
a farm? Like, are you doing a farm?
He's still his practice is in South Florida. I am sort of setting up a situation up here in North Georgia. That's like a second thing, kind of a little bit compoundy. Yeah.
I like it.
And for people. And and it's very safe and clean and nice and very green.
Amazing. That sounds amazing. This thing where they think that they can walk around the world proclaiming like who deserves to sit at a cafe or wear a shirt or live is like the sociopathy is off the charts. I don't understand. I guess it is just the Jewish supremacy. It's been so ingrained in them, but it is they must know how like completely loathed they are by the whole world. It doesn't.
They don't care. They don't.
Yeah.
Did you see the teams? The team, I guess, one of the teams walked by. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, and they refused to shake their hand, and you know,
Bosnia or something. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I found there's actually more to this. There's like an extended clip of this. So I'm going to pull out, Colin, upload the full clip that I just sent to you. But I want to show you guys what this dumb fuck actually looks like.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Kind of all. I'm going to show you this picture and you're going to be like, yeah, of course he looks like that, because why wouldn't he? He's got several traits that just say, yeah, I kind of hate myself.
It matches. That tracks. Yeah.
It would definitely, it would make sense that this is who Charlie Veitch, I guess that's how you say his name. So, yeah.
Gross. Just. So did
honestly,
anybody do anything to him? Did he just like wander around and that was the end?
I've never seen somebody grow a bald, like that type of a patch of hair in the front when you're losing it all. Like, why would you leave that alone? Like, just, dude, go Unabomber and shave it all off already. Like, what are you waiting for?
That's just gross.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
so
I think
upsetting.
you know what we need?
Yeah.
We need the Zio hunter.
I'm coming for you, Charlie boy.
They're just so
Be
used
careful,
to owning it all. Yeah, look at that. Come for him.
Yeah, no, pick it or something. But seriously, there is no explanation that a guy would act like that unless he was being paid. What other explanation is there other than, yeah, this is a job and it's a good paying job. So that is the same thing, again, as we said, for somebody like a Tommy Robinson. And again, Tommy again just happens to be another Brit who's doing this. But this is really, and I know Jen gets on me for ever addressing somebody like Lizzie Savetsky, even though I feel like she's such an easy target because she's the embodiment of everything that is a negative Jewish stereotype. But at some point you have to recognize that this really is a class issue. You know, it's either you're being paid well to push this propaganda, or you're part of that class and you truly believe in it anyway.
Right. Right.
So it's all the same. But in this case, you have a person who is repeating the same tropes over and over again. Free them from Hamas, you're a scum, this and that. And he's just going up to random people. Like, that was not a small guy. Like, why did you not just knock his teeth in?
I know. Well, I wonder if he is Israeli originally or not, because I think that you don't even have to pay them. They truly believe that about themselves. But yes, I agree that anybody who's like a white supremacist, like a Tommy Robinson, they want to create their own ethno-fascist state, right? So like they don't like Jews, but they dislike brown people more, and they kind of think that having a Zionist state is, that's the model.
Well, I thought it was hysterical how even Piers Morgan went after one of the worst pieces of South Florida shit, Adam Sosnick, the other day. When even Piers Morgan is like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's not that bad in Britain. And I'm like, even if Piers Morgan is scoring off you, you better get
reevaluate.
Yeah, really. Like it
is a cult. Like it really is a cult, and they all say the same things. The terrorists, and you hate Israel, and it's the genocide, and we're the most moral, and it's all just the same script.
But let them keep doing it, because if they do, eventually it's an inevitable end. It's an inevitable end.
Yeah. What about this guy?
We're not there yet, Jen. What are you doing? Stop it.
You're talking about gross people. I'm like, look at this guy.
Yeah, well,
talking about Zio scum. I thought,
Oh my
God. I'm from Israel. I love your shirt. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Do you really mean it? Free Palestine? From Hamas? From Hamas?
Oh, you like Israel, yeah?
I'm from Israel. So yeah, I see you got 2 flags of Israel on the back. What does that mean? You got double Israel.
It's Palestine.
It's Israel, my friend. No, it's Israel. But you don't look Palestinian. So why are you getting involved?
So I can't support Palestine.
Well, you can support terror, but why?
You're for genocide then? Yeah, we're Palestinian.
You mean like October 7th? You mean like what the Hamas?
This woman like coming up like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, what are you doing?
I never want to hear about October 7th again ever for the rest of my life.
Me either. And now at this point, I just tell people, you know what? Good. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
I agree.
You should tell them, hey, you're lucky October 7th was all you got.
By Hamas against the Jewish people on October 7th.
What do you know about the history? I'm Palestinian. What do you know about the history?
Dude, you've got a great shaped skull. Sorry, but anyway.
Could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine talking to an elderly like that? You got a great shaped skull. Hey, we showed what your skull looked like. I got to tell you, I'll take his over yours any day.
You just let it finish. Let it finish.
No, I do apologize. No. So you're from Palestine? Yes, I see you've escaped the Islamists and now you're living in the free West. I'm happy for you.
I'm Christian before you were even born.
So you hate Hamas as well?
Well, to be honest with you, no matter hate or dislike or like.
Yeah.
Don't
I think Hamas are a bunch of Islamists and they should be. Israel's great. I'm Yisrael Chai. Israel forever, my friend. Am I a terrorist? You are just ignorant and stupid, my friend. Hello, boys. How are you? Hey, boys. No, you don't. You don't look like you've got high enough IQ to know everything. Anyway, good luck. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for talking to me. Anyway, walk away. You're the one getting all aggressive. I like your Palestine bandana thing.
You walked up to them and started shit. And when you realize that even in Liverpool, in the United Kingdom, they are not behind you. When you're losing the Brits, you really are fucked.
Yeah.
Like you're fucked.
Yep. Just people on the street coming up to them. That is just repulsive. It's repulsive. And I'm surprised that he didn't get hit.
They do it to people. They do. It's almost like they have this radar for people that won't hit them. That's what it seems like. Like they almost, it's like they go up to people that they know aren't going to hit them for whatever reason, whether it's women or older people or just this guy holding his phone. They wouldn't dare go up and start that shit if it was somebody that would hit them back.
Although I thought that the white guy at the beginning was going to hit him back. I was hoping. Like the things I hope happen to all of these people now.
It's embarrassing to feel that way, and I don't like it either, but I do.
I agree. Yeah.
But on top of everything else, he initiated the conversation.
Yeah.
The guy clearly didn't want to talk to him, and he didn't want to stop. He's like, no, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And then eventually it forms a circle, but not the circle that he wanted.
Right.
And in this case, he now is like, oh, this is not going the way I liked it. So let's end it. And they're like, oh no, we're not ending anything.
No, he came across Palestinian Christians. That's fun.
Oh yeah.
Blackmail people.
Blackmailing people on the street.
Why?
I know.
You hate me just because I'm Jewish?
No, I don't hate you until you're picking on just wearing a Palestinian shirt.
Picking on?
Well, we clearly would not have a clip that satisfied all areas of the Zionist cause.
Exactly. Such victim.
You just hate me because I'm Jewish.
You are. I can see you with the camera.
Do you feel picked on? Did I pick on you? You feel bullied by me? Stood 2 meters away asking you questions.
In his face.
In his face? I've not even got my video in your face. Well, what are you doing to me then, little guy?
Defend so many Jewish people around the world.
Someone threw something.
Ashamed of what Israel is doing.
Anyway,
in the world, if you look at YouTube,
can I?
All ashamed of what Israel is doing.
Okay, can I get a Jesus Christ as Lord from you?
I am more Catholic than you.
Christ is Lord. Christ is Lord. Because it's a truth, not Hamas. Hamas is not the truth. Jesus is the truth. Why?
You're Jewish. You're proud to be from Israel, and now you're trying to antagonize a Christian to say Christ is king. Yeah. This again. I hope for anyone who didn't know who Charlie Weiss was before, now you know who he is. And make sure you go and make his life a living hell. And Charlie, much like Jen would not want to run into Laura Loomer, I don't want to run into you because it's not going to be good. I'd like you to try. You see, the difference is that if you even got near me, I would have squared up with you and I would have dared you to take a shot at me.
I mean, that's what really has to happen more because they're very comfortable sniping people or killing children or dismembering and raping old men. And but they're not used to going up against, I'm actually shocked that he chose a young sort of muscular man at the beginning. I think he was hoping to get hit and then he could be like, look, a victim. I think he was like
that. The tables got turned because multiple people took out their phones and are showing what he was doing.
Yeah.
Not talking your way out of that one.
Do you support Hamas?
You support Hamas?
Yes.
You do. You do.
Support Palestinian kids.
So do you support the right of Israeli children to live in peace?
No. They killing Palestinian children.
Oh, sorry, that's your dad. Sorry, I get the content. It's your dad. Sorry. Yeah, you got to support your dad. Good on you, mate.
Let me tell you something. If that was my father, that would have been it. I'd be like, okay, put down your phone. Let's see how fucking tough you are.
Yeah.
You want to talk like that with the phone on? Turn the phone off. We'll see how tough you are. You could see it. You could see it in his face. He's like, dude, I'm gonna fucking tear your head off. As he should.
Yeah.
He's looking for a fight. He wants somebody to hit him.
I want to hit him.
I want so much worse than that, but yes, I want that.
Why don't you call the police?
On the
like that?
Police?
Yeah,
we're having a conversation. Why don't you call the police?
Yeah, well, your conversation is rubbish. You pick on a man for supporting the country. That's not fair, is it?
He's so picked on, he stuck around to enjoy the conversation. That's how picked on he is. You're an idiot. You are an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Good. You mean by Hamas on October 7th? You mean like by Hamas on October 7th?
See that?
Listen here, if you ask, you also.
You see what just happened there? He went over there to antagonize them. And what he ended up doing is uniting two different groups of people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's basically like the microcosm of what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Right? So he's just standing there and they're like, yeah, you can go. We don't need you. Right.
Yeah.
They're useless.
And then people will say, look at this anti-Semitic attack. That will be counted by the ADL or whatever their version is, the UK lawyers for Israel or whatever the hell. Oh my God. My blood is boiling, and I have to go because I have a show in 20 minutes.
No,
so I have
everybody at 9:30 go over to Punch Up after
You'll
we're
be
done.
there.
Sadly, we run late. I do go there. First,
You
I have
do.
to go. I do come. I do. Thursday, I'm not there early enough, though. I don't get there early enough.
You're there all the time, and we so appreciate it. And I so appreciate you guys, your support for our show and having me on. And we want to have you guys on soon. I was traveling and everything was a little crazy, but I'm back now. So we would love that. And I love your show. I watch it. I love the guests that you have. We have scrambled to try to get some of your guests, and we've had a few of them. So thank you. You guys have been amazingly supportive, solidarity, and all that good stuff.
Well, because guys, if you don't know, Pat and Leila are kind of like, well, not anymore, because it used to be more when I was in South Florida because Pete's in the Panhandle, but like the California version,
totally,
of us, like kind of like parallel lives. But you know why? The reason you guys don't grow at the pace is you don't do clips. And I know, and that's the thing, because most people don't commit to watching a live, right? So that's what grows the channel. So that's the key thing.
You know, the problem is we wear all the hats, like what so like, and it's just, I started just never leaving my computer because all I was doing was prepping for shows, doing research, clipping, and it just got, but I know that's what we have to do. I know.
It's the only way to get people to watch, is people like things in small increments.
I know. And we've been going, I mean, you guys go long. We've been going like 2.5 hours lately. So it's long. I totally understand that. Grab a bottle, grab a huge joint, just chill out for 2.5 hours. Thanks, Chelsea. Thank you. That's so nice. Yeah, we're on, don't leave this show early, but we are on Sundays and Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. So Punch Up Pod, we would love to see you all when you wrap up your show.
Yeah. Thank you, Leila.
Thank you for having me. You got my blood boiling. I need to now go.
Good.
Now you can have a kick-ass show as a result.
But she started drinking early tonight, though.
5 o'clock. You got it. Yes, and I really hope karma finds that Brazilian Zio-Nazi.
We're definitely help ushering it in for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Thanks,
in the
chat.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Well, if you are enjoying, if you've been enjoying the conversation, which we certainly hope that you have, and it's not a prerequisite, as Jen likes to say anymore, but it's still a nice addition when we do have them. So if you are so inclined, please go over to patreon.com/revolutionary change. For as little as $5 a month, you can become a paying member of our small but mighty, despite heavily suppressed yet still growing channel that is now approaching, let's see where we are right now. I'm going to do a quick check. I think we're at almost 119,000 subscribers. We've hit another crescendo with a couple of our clips, so they have been growing. We are at 118,862 subscribers. So if you are not subscribed,
we asked Fuentes to come on. Nick Fuentes is not coming on our show.
No. If anything, Nick Fuentes would invite me and me only on his show, but that's not happening. So I don't really have much of an interest in covering somebody just for the sake of covering them. If there's something relevant.
Travers, she did not. Somebody else gave it to you. Cut that out. You know, you could be a patron. You've been here long enough for free. Wouldn't kill you.
Yeah, come on. That's one of the ways you can contribute from overseas. Bob Tildesley, Tildesley. Bob Tildesley with the cute little kitty in the profile picture. I was trying to think of something. I was going to say Poochie, but no.
Thank you, Bob. See, I would just say Bob.
What democracy with the 199. Peter, did you see Miss Lindsay in Orlando? I don't get the reference exactly.
Who's Miss Lindsay?
I'm not sure. Not sure. Jen, why do I see two lists? Oh, wait, do we have too many Patreons now?
Well, yeah, you got to scroll both now, because what happened was, I didn't make it a scroller. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to make a second one, but you turn it into a scroller.
I don't know. Can I?
Yeah, you just got to click to make it a scroller right there. You're looking at the thing. Yeah, I had to add because I ran out of characters. Each banner can only be so many characters. So now I had to divide the 5s into 2. So
divide and conquer. Hey, listen, no problem. Hey,
no,
listen,
I know.
It all adds up, guys. It all adds up. $5 a month. That's how much is that? $5 a month, 30 days. Is that like 6 cents a day? Am I doing that? No.
You are asking the very, very wrong person.
No, it's
But did you see who is a patron? See, now we have Josie Justice.
Josie's here. Just give me 5 minutes, please. I mean, that's a good name. Yeah, no, 30 days, $5 a month. I think it's like
Peter
15
likes to figure out these math problems.
It's like 15 cents a day, I think is what it is. But hey, it works for me. Works for all of us. We really appreciate the support. And Walshy 3533 with the 5 Canadian A. Thanks, guys, for all you do. Thank you for supporting our show. Shout out to Skedward Bobby with the 2-month membership. Trump to the Congressional Oversight Committee. America first, but I cannot refuse Netanyahu requests. Yeah, he probably would say that. That sounds like something he would say. Just that one exception. And with the 5 Canadian A, great job, Peter and Jen. Keep the fight going. Happy to do it, fan.
Skedward.
Mark J with the $5. Good to see you, pal. May Iran prevail and prosper. Thank you, Peter and Jen. It does seem like a lot of Americans who have been left behind are cheering on Iran. I can't say that I blame them. Citizen Pendejo with the 20 pesos. They're from Moravia. Yeah, I'm rewatching Superman. Which one? Well, there's only one Superman as far as I'm concerned. But
thank you.
Just making sure. Schultze with the $10. There's a Zio warrior in all of us. I'm happy to inspire. But you can thank Jen for that because she did the graphic. So it's a team effort. Medio with the $4.99. Thank you for being our mod and for being a contributor. Bosnia survived a genocide in the early 90s, hence why their players hate Israel and refuse to shake hands with those vile genocidal creatures.
Good. Obviously I do remember the Bosnian genocide, but I didn't make the connection right there. But yeah, that makes complete sense.
Ammo with the 5 Canadian A. You guys need to get Alexander Mackey on the show. He just did a podcast just discussing how the USA is not self-sufficient with oil. I'm sure they're not. Most, if not all, of what we say. We have a lot of oil. We got a lot. We got more than enough. We'll give it away.
We've had Nick on.
And agreeable with the One Revolutionary Change membership gift. Thank you very much for doing that.
If it didn't go to Travers, you still need to get one, Travers.
Yeah, Travers. Come on now. Can't just wait for the lottery to come and help you out.
You can't freeload forever, Travers.
Yeah. You don't want to be like the guy we're going to talk about now. I mean, you want to not only is the guy a freeloader, but he knows exactly whose wheels to grease and he knows exactly who to take advantage of. Now, this story should not come as any surprise, but one that I think we've heard time and time again. Now, one of the things we've learned about Trump and his family is that they really are in every way, shape, or form open for business. They are willing to have their wheels greased. And no matter how big of a criminal, and this is to me the biggest reason why you would want to get Trump out of there, is that the more he loses his marbles and the more into this hell on earth term that we're going through right now, the more criminals that are going to grease his wheels and his family's wheels with riches, lots and lots of riches, they're going to want their pardons. They're going to want to get out of there. You know who's seeking a pardon right now? Sheila Cherfilus-McCormack. Although I don't think she has enough to offer Trump to get that.
Well,
pardon.
Doesn't she first need a conviction before she get a pardon? Guys, and Travers, touche. Same to you, Henry. Guys, absolutely. If you are supporting status quo, that's great, and I appreciate that. 100%. And that is supporting all of us.
And I saw what you messaged. I did not see Lindsey Graham when I was in Orlando. I didn't go to any of the theme parks. I was there for business. So, according to
Peter wasn't in bathroom stalls looking for trouble.
I wasn't putting my foot underneath stalls or shaking my hand underneath. I think both of them work. Although maybe Kristi Noem's husband might be doing that. Anything's possible. So anyway, from the America First Post, President Trump granted a full pardon to Jewish nursing home operator Joseph Schwartz after he served just 3 months of a 3-year sentence for a $39 million fraud scheme. First of all, how do you only get 3 years for perpetuating a $39 million white-collar crime spree? Now, I don't know about you, Jen, but this guy looks like he could be a rabbi, or maybe he's just a religious psycho. Whatever the case is.
He's just Orthodox or whatever. He's disgusting.
Federal prosecutors said that Schwartz refused to pay payroll taxes that had been withheld from employees' wages across 11 states. 11 states. Boy, he's committing lots of crimes. Schwartz reportedly paid $960,000 to lobbyists Jack Berkman and Jacob Wohl, yes, they both are, if you're wondering, to secure the pardon from the White House.
Trump's running pay to play, man. He's making money off of everything. He probably charges admission to people coming in, you know? I mean, he's pay to play.
The worst part about this story that you're not seeing here is that Schwartz, like so many other Zionist Jews, when they're involved in real estate, this isn't just any multifamily real estate. This is senior living multifamily real estate. So he was fucking over old people.
Those are the most vulnerable people. That's how you get away with it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, and not only was he screwing them over with the fraud, but he was withholding payment. I mean, if you want to talk about people who absolutely should be paid a living wage, a true living wage, it's the orderlies that have to work in assisted living facilities. There is not enough money in the world you could ever pay me to wipe a person's ass. Can't do that. But people that get into these jobs because that's what's available to them. And let's also keep in mind that without question, I don't want to be stereotypical, but I'm going to be. If this guy is a Jew and he's owning all of this real estate that is of assisted senior living, I think it is safe to say that some of those properties are in South Florida. So what's one of the really noted common themes when it comes to South Florida assisted living orderlies? They're typically immigrants. They are typically people who are already in a vulnerable category and are working a job that isn't necessarily paying them anywhere near enough for them to survive, much less thrive. So why not just take even more advantage of them and withhold their pay? Skimming. That's a federal crime. And yet this bastard only has to serve 3 months in prison. I can't do it, Jen. I can't stay in prison. It's not for the folk. It's not for the chosen folks. We don't have to do this.
Okay, so do you want to move on to either the story about the Gulf or the story about the Iranian corporate hit list? Which one?
Well, I would think that we can
I'm
always talk about
one of those.
Yeah, we could always talk about the Gulf. I think that the hit list in some ways kind of ties into what we're talking about here.
Okay, so we'll end with this. So it occurs to me that we haven't addressed really Iran and where we are with that. And contrary to what Trump said in his delusional, maniacal presentation, we're not winning anything. We're winning nothing. We have won nothing. And in fact, I bet he forced on worker friend. Who are we talking about?
The orderlies that we're working.
Oh, all right. I'm on to the next thing. So Trump is completely delusional lying. And in Iran, we're having our asses handed to us every way. They're in charge. Iran is in charge. They're calling the shots. His 15-point plan is irrelevant at this point, right? So one of the things that they have done, and they recently just took out some sort of data center, Amazon data center, is they specifically put out a list. Colin, I don't know which one of those stories it was, but there was one that had like the hit list. But Iran put out a warning, a statement, and to the employees of the companies that they are saying are part of the
Can I
empire,
call,
military.
you know
industrial
what? Can I call an audible if that's okay?
Why?
I'll pick up this story, the Iran story on Saturday. I think this story, I know you've been wanting to talk about this with the whales. I know this is something that's very important to you, and I don't want to rush.
Yeah, but you had said that we could always, all right, whatever.
No, I think it's important. I think because we could always talk about Iran on Saturday. This is something I could talk about it. What I'm saying is this is a story you really wanted to hit, and I think it's very important because we don't the thing about Iran and what's happening right now that I think is really getting overlooked, that we really don't talk about enough, is the environmental catastrophe that is coming, that we're already living through, and it's only getting so much worse. So how would you like to set this up?
Well, I mean, okay, so you want to pivot to the other story, like mid-story. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that was like jarring, but okay. So this story came out the other day, and it's one of the things that I feel like we have been somewhat overlooking to some extent when we talk about all these wars and all of these issues, and we don't remember what ultimately comes back to the environment and how it's all connected. So us having a fossil fuel and oil crisis, well, what does that look like? How does that affect not just our gas prices, but what we're going to start to do to compensate for that? And one of those things is drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, that's the only one I'm talking about. But so I saw this article about this whale, this species of whale, and I've never heard of this whale before, which is interesting just because I've lived next to the Gulf of Mexico for most of my life. But this whale is the only whale that lives year round in the Gulf of Mexico, and it is at risk of going extinct. Okay, so it just caught my attention. So we can read this article, and it's not the only species, but there it is. I believe it's a rice whale, which I had never heard of that. But several high-ranking Trump officials that make up the so-called God Squad voted on Tuesday to quash longstanding Endangered Species Act regulations in the Gulf of Mexico, exempting all oil and gas drilling. It's an outcome environmentalists fear could spell doom for the critically endangered Rice's whale, a species that only exists in the Gulf and has just 50 whales left in existence. The God Squad is a panel of 6 high-ranking federal officials on the Endangered Species Committee that has the ability to decide exemptions in the Endangered Species Act. It earned, where did you go? What happened? Okay, there it is. It earned the name because the committee has the power to play God.
Unreal.
It literally has the power of life or death, said Pat Parento, an emeritus law professor at the Vermont Law School who helped write the original exemption provision in the law. It can grant an exemption that would actually result in the extinction of a species. Such exemptions to the Endangered Species Act are extremely rare. Tuesday marked just the 4th time in history the committee has voted, and the first it has voted for an exemption on national security grounds. And what is that national security issue? It's a fuel shortage. And why are we having a fuel shortage? Well, the Strait of Hormuz has been closed to us, and Iran has been setting our supply on fire. And so that is a problem. But so we created the problem, and now our solution is to create an even further problem by drilling in the Gulf. Last week, Secretary of Defense Pete Hogsbreath requested an exemption to the Endangered Species Act requirements across all oil and gas exploration in the Gulf of Mexico for reasons of national security. Here's the thing. I would much rather see the extinction of Pete Hogsbreath than the Rice's whale. So I vote that he gets thrown into the Gulf, and then maybe we could consider this. Seth, at his meeting, said the national security threat stems from environmental group lawsuits that aim to protect endangered species in the Gulf. Groups have sued in recent years, aiming to reduce boat traffic speeds in the area that can strike and kill Rice's whales and restrict seismic air gun activity that can interfere with their whale navigation and communication. Oil spills also pose a threat, blah, blah, blah. Anywho, scroll. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, yeah. Rice's whale is the species closest to the brink of extinction in the Gulf. Other endangered and threatened species live there too, including sea turtles, manatees, and whooping cranes. But what's a few species? What's a few species so that people can continue living the ridiculous, excessive lifestyles that they live that burn through the majority of fossil fuels on the planet? Because it isn't most people that do that. It really isn't. The majority of the world does not do that. The majority of the world would be able to survive a lot better than we would in this country, because we are so ridiculously over dependent on fossil fuels. So instead of being less dependent, we're just going to take out a few more species. All right. I think that is enough of that. I think
the Rice's whale is the species closest to the Rice's whale is the species closest to the brink of extinction in the Gulf. But
I just read that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you didn't read that part.
I just read that.
I'm sorry.
No, the rationale provided by Hogsbreath and other officials for the exemption was that these lawsuits were regulations to protect endangered species, make it less certain for oil and gas companies to plan and execute their drilling operations.
I mean, they're just putting it right out there.
Therefore hurting U.S. national security. Yes.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't occur to these people that national security is not tied to fossil fuel like they think it is. The military industrial complex is tied to the fossil fuel industry. Our security is tied to our ability to sustain ourselves, which we don't have. And all the oil in the fucking world, Pete, won't be able to satisfy when we have no food and water.
You're talking to me?
Fuck. No, Hogsbreath.
I wasn't sure. I mean, I already knew, but you might have wanted to just remind me. It's always possible.
No, I'm talking. It's like, that's not the national security problem. The national security problem is that we're not going to have food and water when the rest of the world cuts us off. That's the problem. And the idea that endangering species and further poisoning the Gulf of Mexico somehow is a solution to national security is off the wall.
Completely. We hope you've enjoyed this conversation. And of course, we do have a few more super chats before we depart for the evening. So, what democracy? 199. I did not see Lindsey Graham, thankfully. I don't know how I would have reacted if I did. Dancer, thank you for being a 1-month member of our channel. Citizen Pendejo with the 20 pesos. Bosnia plus Myanmar. Jen, UN found Meta guilty of it. Yeah, trust me. And that's the other thing. You think it's bad with the drilling in the Gulf?
We talked about Meta. We talked about
all of the environmental disaster that's coming from all the data centers. That's the next part. And remember,
that is exactly what the cop cities are for. That is exactly what the ICE agents are going to be about. That's why they're building camps. That's why they're going to start. That is why homelessness is illegal, and they're going to start putting people in camps. That is why. And the more hungry people get, the more desperate people get. That is how they're going to keep us. Exactly.
Yeah. The question's going to be, are people going to allow the individuals to get picked off one by one, or is the collective nature of the United States of America going to band together to fight back against the cop cities? That's what it's going to be. The powers that be, just remember, they're going to go flee somewhere if they can't have what they want. But then who's going to do all the work for them? That's going to be the fun part. when the US dollar isn't worth shit anymore, we'll see how far they can get. But it is what it is. Carson Cruz with the $10, probably old news now. Army Chief of Staff General Randy George and Army Chief of Chaplains Major General William Green Jr. fired today.
I didn't know. I am not surprised. I would suggest that they were trying to speak reason and explain how going into Iran is an it's a bad idea. It's a suicide mission. It's a bad idea. There's no winning it. And that's probably why they got fired. So I did not know that. But these were probably people, or they were speaking out and supporting conscientious objectors.
Right. Oh.
You know what I mean? Like supporting the people that are not going for this. But yeah,
it's simply inevitable that it's all falling apart. But I just hope we don't have to lose too many service members in order for it to finally become a reality. The scary part is I'm not sure they can believe that.
Thank you so much, Gritty Image Photography, with your
Look at that cute little munchkin.
Look at that. We're very big fans of the Woofus here.
We are the Woofus channel for sure.
Welcome. You're cute too.
And finally, AC with the $4.99 pounds. That's pounds. Thank you so very, very much from across the pond. If you've enjoyed the convo, we hope you did. We appreciate you all. I will have Ashley Conrad finally on Saturday. 18 pounds for a dog? Yeah, of course.
What are you talking about? It depends on the dog, of course.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I don't know. I don't know what the breed is. If it's a Chihuahua, it's a problem. If it's, you know,
that would be a big Chihuahua.
I don't know. It depends on the dog.
So,
Peter will be here Saturday.
What's that?
You'll be here Saturday.
Yes, I will be here Saturday. We will have lots of wonderful stories to cover. I am 1000% going to be covering
my story about the corporate.
I will cover Iran, and I am 1000% finally. I'm only covering it because it's actually relevant. I will be covering Tyler Robinson on Saturday. If the bullet doesn't fit, you must quit and admit that Israel did the deed. Smash that like button, share, subscribe, do all those things we ask you to do. We love you all. We appreciate you all. I will see you Saturday. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine. And yeah, that's a little too big for a Yorkie. But you know, it's a little big for a Yorkie. Anywho.
Good night, guys.
Bye, guys.